guys, how are you? Thank you for watching. So, last night I did it. I reinstated my Netflix account and I watched the entire film, Cuties. And I'm going to give you my opinion on that. I made a few videos about Cuties before. I learned that it came out on Wednesday, so I was like, okay, I have to do it. I have to watch it and see what all this is actually about. And I did that. But first, I want to tell you where my head's been at the past few weeks. So I've been doing a lot of research on human trafficking and things like that, mainly because I've been wanting to get involved in an organization called Operation Underground Railroad. So I've started the process of filling out paperwork to hopefully become a volunteer for them and see how I can help. But this is an organization that saves kids that are involved in trafficking and exploitation from all over the world. They save a lot of kids. They put a lot of bad guys in jail. And one thing that I learned while I'm researching working with them was that the US is the biggest consumer of human trafficking all around the world. So that was a pretty big shock to me. They have a really good documentary too. I'm going to link that below, but I learned a lot about what's going on. Also, since we've been in the pandemic, a lot more kids are at risk of trafficking, abuse, and exploitation simply because they're not out in school or they're not doing their regular activities. And a lot of people that notice discrepancies and that report crimes of domestic violence and things of that are teachers and other adults in the community. And now that kids are not out in the community as much as they are, a lot of these crimes are going underreported. Also, online exploitation, since everyone is stuck at home and consuming a lot more digital media, online exploitation is increasing a lot, and one of the most vulnerable people are kids. So it's just something to be aware of. That's another reason why this particular topic interested me. So let's get into it. I started watching the film and I tried to erase everything from my head. I tried to go into it completely diplomatic and tried to really give the film a chance. And I'm an actress. I live in LA. I appreciate really good film and I appreciate provocative art and shocking art sometimes. But this was something completely different. A lot of the defenses on the film are that this is a woman of color. This is a Muslim woman who made the film. She's telling her story. The little girl is fighting independence against the patriarchal system in which she's being raised. And I'm going to read you a little bit of a defense on the film, and then we'll talk about my reaction after that. So this is an opinion piece in the New Yorker written by Richard Brody. And he says, so he's describing the film, he says, Cuties dramatizes what people of color and immigrants endure as a result of isolation and ghettoization, of not being represented culturally and politically, and of not being represented in French national mythology. Its underlying subject is the connection of personal identity to public identity, and the urgency of transforming the very notion of French identity, of changing the idea of who's considered the representative face of France. It is a French film. Okay, that's all and great. That sounds like a great description of a film, and all the things I just told you, that sounds like the great setup to a great film. Well, please excuse my language, but I think they fucked up big time. The first 30 minutes or so of the film, I was like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. It was beautifully shot. The acting was great. I loved the storyline and where it seemed to be going and what it was highlighting. And then when the girl starts getting introduced to the dance squad and the other girls, that's when it just started feeling plain wrong. And not in this sense where it's just showing you something wrong and uncomfortable. It was this sense where I feel wrong watching this. I felt uncomfortable and I felt wrong watching it. And I understand the idea that they're trying to present. I feel like they went about it in the complete wrong way, and in the end actually exploited the very people that they're trying to tell the story of. When it gets to the scenes of the dancing, and it's really the editing that I found, in the editing and the positions that they put the girls in was incredibly disturbing. They were zoomed in on certain parts of the body, and they would go back and forth to other parts of other bodies, and it would be zoomed in, very sexually suggestive, like something I would even be uncomfortable doing at my age. And it was just over and over again, completely exaggerated, completely over sexualized. Apparently, I'm not the only one that thinks so. This, I'm going to try to put it up on the screen. This is a parental warning from imdb.com, and I'm going to read you the last line. It's a severe warning for sex and nudity on a film starring, okay. It says at the end, this is lawfully defined as PEDO, Elia, and can be extremely distressing to many viewers. I wanted to read that to you too because honestly, I don't even feel comfortable telling you exactly what I saw in the film and why it was disturbing. But even minus the dance scenes, they were just put in a lot of positions that were just sort of off putting and provocative for the age of the girls. I think this story could have been told with older girls. I think this story could have been told without all the intense, suggestive, drawn out, exaggerated editing that was chosen to be put in the film. And when you make a film, when you're editing, when you're writing, you are constantly cutting things. You're saying, okay, I like that scene, but it's not really moving the story forward, so we have to cut it. Or there's too much, I don't need all of this dialogue, this is extra dialogue, we can cut it. It's interesting too because on the first few videos I made on this subject, I had a lot of people bring up toddlers and tiaras, dance moms, and child pageants in general. And they're all very valid, and I definitely see all the concerns, and those are conversations that should be had and should be continued to be had. But I will say I've seen all of these things. This film is next level above that. Like, this is blatant and just in your face and complete next level. And the question is, where is the line between art and exploitation, especially when it comes to kids? And where's the point in the sand? At what point is it wrong? Especially when you have IMDb saying blatantly what this is. So let me know your thoughts on everything, what you think. Have you seen it? Are you going to watch it? Thank you for watching, you guys. Bye.